call, please.
Corbin.
Here.
Zupan.
Here.
Walters. Okay, he's absent. Moses.
Here.
Jones. Walrod. Schwartz.
Here.
Goldstein.
Here.
Veronica.
Here.
Norelli.
Here.
Bono. Cunningham. Stokes.
Here.
Stepanski. Becker.
Here.
Kavanaugh. Roberts. Maglioka. Ostrander. He is not here. Oh, I thought he was on Zoom.
Okay, need a motion for the approval of our previous minutes, please. Motion by Mrs. Norelli, seconded by Mr. Roberts. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Carried. Okay, communications reports, reports of committees.
Okay. Copies of resolutions from Onondaga and Livingston County supporting the Operation Greenlight. Proposed deviation from uniform tax exemption policy by Madison County IDA in connection with proposed Hardin Plaza project. Audit vouchers payable today in the amount of $1,282,536.05. And that's all I have.
That's all you have? Okay, before we start proceedings today, I want to take and thank Cindy Edick for presenting the budget that she has today, presenting it to us for us to review and take a look at the tentative budget. It represents a 0% tax levy increase, which I asked for at the beginning of the year to, with all the madness in the country today, in our communities and everything, that we give a 0% tax increase to our constituents. And Cindy and her team has delivered that. And I want to thank you for all your hard work, Cindy. Very good. Thank you. So. Okay, with that, we'll go on to resolutions.
Okay,
What?
Presentation.
do the presentation first.
It's scheduled for 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Fenner.
Who's supposed to be doing that?
Phil Rose, president of Fenner Renewable Energy.
Okay. Is Phil Rose here? Yes, sir. Phil, come on up. Do our presentation. Phil is from the Renewable Energy Education Center in Fenner.
I don't know if they need it.
Is the mic on back there?
No.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, there you go. Perfect.
Yeah, I'm Philip Rose. I'm the president of the Free Center. I'm here with Judy Carey, the past president. Many of you know Judy. And during the last year, during COVID, we have been unable to do what we do best, which is to give tours of the Enel wind turbines and our solar panels and our biomass presentation at the Free Center in Fenner. And we're very proud of that program, of course. But because of COVID, we haven't been able to do the tours. We've had tours for thousands of young people, all the way from the 5th grade all the way to college and beyond, into adult groups. So we're very active. And instead, what we decided to do was to develop a virtual tour of the center. And so what you're about to see is a brief tour that is now available on our website for classrooms, groups, adult groups, whatever. You can go to our group, and there are 2 videos, one geared towards an adult audience and one towards a youth audience. So please feel free to let people know that this is available to them, and they can do tours. And hopefully in the spring, we'll be able to start some actual in-person tours. Tour that is now available on our website for classrooms. Yes, the classroom, right? Yeah. So are you ready to show it?
Yep, just gotta share the screen real quick so the people on Zoom can see it. Ready?
This is the youth version. The little short-
Hi, I'm Honora Race,
And I'm Emma Steinberg.
and we're seniors at Casanova High School.
Welcome to the Fenner Renewable Energy Education Center here in Madison County.
We like to call it the Free Center.
Do you know that over the past 15 years, thousands of students have come to tour this wind farm and center?
They come to experience the power of the wind turbines and learn about renewable energy.
Since you can't be here in person, we'll take you on a virtual tour.
We'd like to introduce you to Judy Carey, who's been the lead tour guide here at the Free Center. Here's Judy.
Good morning, I'm Judy Carey, and I'm on the Board of Directors for the Free Center. I'd like to welcome you to the town of Fenner, which is home to the Fenner Renewable Energy Education Center and these glorious wind turbines that you see all around me. Thank you for coming, and let's take a look around. So today we are blessed with a glorious, sunny, warm day. And we have wind here in Fenner. I guess that's a good thing. This is one of the windiest spots in New York State. It has a productive wind, a good wind resource. And so if it was one of those crazy, windy, rainy, damp days, we would be warm and dry inside our education center. We call this our renewable education classroom. And you can see that it is set up now for groups of students to come in, work on solar activities, wind activities, and just learn about renewable energy and sustainable practices. We have a lot of elements here at the Free Center. We have solar, we have Willow, and we have a lot of fun activities for you to do and learn. But the reason why you really came here today was to see these amazing wind turbines. We're very fortunate today to have with us Dave Harmon from Enel North America. Dave is the site manager of the Fenner Wind Farm, and Dave will tell us more about these amazing turbines and how the energy that they produce goes to our homes and businesses. Dave, fill us in.
We have 20 units at the Fenner Wind Farm, each rated at 1.5 megawatts apiece. Each of the wind turbines are 215 feet tall to the center of the hub. The rotor itself weighs about 75,000 pounds. The nacelle weighs in at about 105,000 pounds. Each blade weighs approximately 15,000 pounds. We have approximately 23 miles of buried collection system in the park supporting the 20 units. In addition to the collection system, we have a buried fiber optic network, which allows us to communicate with each turbine individually. At the top of the turbines, we have a generator, and that generator produces electricity, which sends it down to the bottom of the tower and goes into a transformer at the base of the tower, which is connected to the collection system in the park. From there, we deliver it down to our substation, where it gets stepped up to 115,000 volts and is delivered to National Grid on the collection system or the utility system. The Fenner Wind Farm makes enough energy to power 8,000 to 10,000 homes over a year period. We hear birds, but we also hear a turbine in the background. We can hear the blades cutting through the air and the noise of the gearbox and the generator producing electricity. Wind turbines are not dangerous to birds. We do monitor for avian kills, and we've had a few over the years, but it's not anything that I would say is dangerous. The turbines are built using 2 cranes, and initially we have to bring in a crew to do the civil work to build the foundation. And then the base is set on the foundation. We set a mid-tower section, then the top tower section, and then the nacelle, which is the box on top of the tower. And then the rotor is assembled on the ground and flown with 2 cranes. The towers themselves are made out of steel. The nacelle is made out of fiberglass. It's a fiberglass shell with a metal steel base. The blades are made out of fiberglass and in some circumstances, carbon fiber. The turbines work by the sensors on the top of the turbines. At the back of the nacelle, each turbine has a wind vane and anemometer, which keeps the turbine pointed into the wind. When the wind speed is greater than 3 meters per second, which is about 6.6 miles per hour, then the computer program turns the turbine on and the blades will pitch and begin producing energy.
All right, behind us, we have our solar array. This solar array produces the energy that powers our education center. This solar array was installed, designed, and put in place here by my friend Phil Hoffmeyer from SUNY Morrisville and his students. I'd like to introduce you now to Dr. Hoffmeyer.
Principally, I teach students to either be wind technicians or solar technicians or develop projects. So a lot of my graduates are out designing and developing multi-megawatt solar and wind projects all throughout New York State and honestly throughout the Northeast. Right behind me is a solar array. This is a ground-mounted or a pole-mounted solar array that my students and I put in for the Free Center. It's only 1.5 kilowatts, so it's fairly small. Only 6 panels are here. And it's designed to offset all the electricity needs for the Free Center and the building that's inside of it. They're made out of silicone, and silicone has a little bit of impurities added to it. And what's pretty magical about that is as soon as it's exposed to sunlight, it starts producing some electrical current. So it's pretty similar to a battery in that there's always a positive and a negative side to it, but they're purely passive. As soon as sunlight hits them, they start producing electricity in a fairly simple way. So these kind of solar panels do work all year. There are 2 different varieties. Some of them are designed to produce heat, and some of them are designed to produce electricity. What's behind me are solar electric panels or photovoltaic panels. So they do work all year long. The more sunlight, the more they produce. So during the summer months, when there is more sunlight, they produce more electricity. And in fact, sometimes in the winter, they have very high electricity production. If there's a lot of snow and it reflects the sunlight onto them, they can actually produce quite a bit of electricity. Their electricity output is dependent fully on the fuel that's available. And since sunlight is the fuel, anytime that there is shading from buildings or trees or from clouds, the electricity is reduced. This solar array that's directly behind me is directly coupled to the utility. So the electricity that it produces first satisfies the electrical needs inside the building, and then the rest is exported onto the grid. So they don't need batteries. But one of the advantages of pairing them with batteries is there are times when there is a lot of sunlight, but not a lot of electrical need. And so you can store that electricity from the times of high production and satisfy the times when there is not much sunlight, either on cloudy days or during the night. For a typical house in central New York, you would need about a 5 kilowatt solar array. So basically take this system and multiply it by 4. One of the questions that gets asked a lot is, does anything grow underneath them? Well, as a very quick example, this is fully grassed out underneath this. If I just add more of them, that doesn't go away. There are other places that grow vegetable crops underneath them as well, like pumpkins, something that's wide and sprawling, very easy to grow underneath solar arrays. All of these solar panels are rated for 1-inch diameter hail, and the classification of the racking or the structure that holds them in place is designed for up to 140 mile per hour winds. So their survivability is really high. So solar PV systems are generally safe, but with that, I have to be very cautious. And what I mean by that is it's touch safe. So this solar array is producing electricity right now, and it's got a glazing around the outside, and it's got a metal frame. All of that is electrically safe to touch. Having said that, they are fully producing electricity all the time. So whenever it's sunny outside, all of the rest of the electrical system is energized. This is a public demonstration unit. And so on the back of it, this machine has what's called rapid shutdown, which means at no point in time is there a wire that's available higher than 30 volts. So the electronics that are on this system are designed to make sure that if somebody accidentally touches it, it immediately shuts down before there is any kind of a concern of electrocution. So this is here specifically so people can see its components and interact with them in a safe manner. No one should come up and start pulling on wires. However, if they do, this system is designed to be as safe as possible given kind of the mission of the Free Center, which is education for people who might not be aware of the technologies. Solar panels are generally warranted for 25 years. And that's both for the solar panels themselves as well as the power electronics that come behind it. One of the interesting things about solar panels is they do have a degradation on time, meaning the sunlight degrades the components a little bit through time, but solar panels have no end of lifespan time period. At this stage, 40, 50 years have been seen already in the industry. So one of the things that I think is really important is that there is no silver bullet when it comes to energy systems. So what we have to do, which is clear, is get away from fossil fuels. Absolutely known. And there isn't a technology that will do it for us on its own. Where we are, it's critical that we look at different kinds of energy systems. So the world of the future is guaranteed to be a mix of clean energy systems.
Okay, now you'll see these tall shrubs behind me. This is willow. It's a very, very fast growing shrub that can be harvested every 3 to 5 years. Once these are cut, and they have been before, they will quickly grow back to a height similar to this in just 3 to 5 years. This plant can be then chipped and burned for heat. And very close by, Colgate University in Hamilton, New York, has the facility to do just that. They chip these willow branches, they burn them, and they use that to heat some buildings on the college campus.
Thanks, Judy. That's so interesting.
We want renewable energy everywhere to help with the climate crisis and show that there's an alternative to oil, gas, and nuclear power.
As young people, we're grateful to grow up in a place like Central New York, where people are doing their part to help out.
In our high school, we're working to make recycling an important part of being a student there.
What can you do to help? Think about it. Make something happen and join our renewable energy movement.
Thanks for listening.
Okay, thank you. Yep, very good. Any quick questions? No? Okay, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Judy did a great job. Yeah. The resolutions.
Okay, we'll start with resolution number 1, waiving the rules for resolutions. Dave Jones, Chairman, Administration Oversight Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I forgot to mention this one, but to make this present this resolution.
Help them out, you two, will you?
Yep.
Resolutions are made. Do I have
Yeah.
a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Norelli. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Carried.
Yeah,
If you don't believe me, look at all the wrappers in his drawer.
you ought to see this.
To let everybody in on the joke, since COVID, David's been home and Pete and Cliff have been filling his drawers with empty candy wrappers, and it is chocked full. So,
I don't think we were the only ones.
well, I added one today.
I did.
I'm just worried about their health, John. That's what I'm concerned about.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's not here. We'll blame it all on Chuck Walters. Okay,
Okay.
go ahead. Yes.
Okay, resolution number 2, resolution of appreciation, retiree recognition. Mary Kavanaugh, Chairwoman, Government Operations Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
Resolution's been made. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Stepanski. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Carried. So because John Reagan's not here today, I will present the first one to David Reese for building maintenance. He's been here from 1995 to 2021. David, come on up.
Yes, they can hear that.
David and I kind of grew up together in Canastota. We were kids and played Pop Warner football together and went to school together. And Dave, thanks for all your hard work. You've truly been an asset to Madison County, and we're sorry to see you go. You know, Dave's always been willing to lend a hand and jump in and work wherever he had to. I remember one day we were watching out the window and the guys were putting shingles on a little cupola out here by the dock, and the rain was coming, and all of a sudden Dave come running over and started helping them shingle that thing, and they got it done before the rain came. And Dave, we're gonna miss you. So, yeah, here you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks,
You
John.
wanna say something? No. Sure. Thank you. Might as well stay up here.
Yep.
So next, we have Deborah Jesuits from probation, 2003 to 2021. You want to come up and Joanne, you here? Yes, there you go. Thank you. Wherever you want to be. Here you go, Joanne. You can give it to her. Congratulations. Yes. And I'll give you the mic. There you go.
So Deb has been with the probation department as an OA2 for the last 18 years. She has always been incredibly organized, meticulous, and detail-oriented. We could always rely on Deb to catch the mistakes that the rest of us made and to put them all right. She's also a computer whiz, and for quite some time was the only one in the department who understood our case management system. We are surely going to miss her, and we wish her all the best in retirement.
Okay, moving right along.
Okay. Resolutions for preferred agenda, Government Operations Committee. Resolution number 3, authorizing the agreement with LG Voucher. Number 4, abolishing a building maintenance worker position and creating a motor equipment operator position in solid waste. Number 5, creating an officer assistant position, 2 position in the City Council in the Office of County Administrator. Number 6, creating temporary positions, emergency management, and amending the white collar non-represented policies and procedures. Mary Kavanaugh, Chairwoman, Government Operations Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move these resolutions for
Resolutions are
adoption.
made, seconded by Mr. Walrod. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Walrod. Schwartz.
It's not on.
Yeah, aye.
Oh, there she
Okay,
is. Okay,
okay.
I didn't, how come she's not
Goldstein?
coming up on?
Yes. Okay, I need to see him. DeVeronica, Norelli,
Aye.
Bono, Cunningham, Stokes,
Aye.
Stepanski,
Oh, there we go.
Becker.
Aye.
Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Roberts.
Aye.
Maglioka. Corbin.
Yes.
Zupan.
Yes.
Walters is the absent. Moses. Jones.
There you go.
1,411 ayes.
Carried.
Next, we have Finance, Ways and Means. Number 7, accepting the tentative budget is filed by the budget officer. Number 8, appointing a committee to review the 2022 tentative budget. Number 9, authorizing public hearing on the tentative county budget for 2022. Number 10, authorizing public hearing on the tentative budget for Quaslan Watershed District for 2022. Number 11, authorizing the public hearing on the tentative budget for the Clockville Watershed District for 2022. Number 12, authorizing an agreement with New York Archives Partnership Trust. Number 13, authorizing an agreement with Henderson Johnson. Number 14, authorizing the disbursement of gap elimination funds to Madison County towns and villages. Number 15, approval mortgage tax report fall 2021. And number 16, authorizing the modification of the 21 budget for EMS ARPA. Yvonne Norelli, Vice Chairwoman, Chairwoman, Finance, Ways and Means.
Mr. Chairman, I move these resolutions for adoption. please.
Resolution is made, seconded by Mr. Bono. Should that say number 11, should that say Clockville Water District instead of watershed?
Yeah,
Okay, all right. Okay,
where I got that from. Quaslan Watershed.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
All right, resolution's been made, seconded. Any discussion? Okay. Roll call, please.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Goldstein,
Yes.
Veronica, Norelli,
Aye.
Bono, Cunningham, Stokes,
Aye.
Pansky,
Yes.
Becker.
Aye.
Kavanaugh, Roberts,
Aye.
Maglioka, Corbin,
Yes.
Zupan, Moses,
Yes.
Jones, Walrod. 1,411 ayes.
Mr.
Carried.
Chairman,
Yes,
I just wanted to mention the resolution actually is right. It's just here on the agenda. It
Okay.
said watershed.
thank you.
Next, we have Administration Oversight Committee. Number 17, designating disposal of surplus county personal property, the Morrisville Highway items. Number 18, designating disposal of surplus county personal property, emergency management. And number 19, authorizing agreement with UniFirst Corp. and awarding piggybacking on Onondaga County's bid for industrial laundry service. Dave Jones, Chairman, Administration Oversight Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I got instructions. Mr. Chairman, I move these resolutions for adoption.
Resolution's been made. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Roberts. Before we discuss anything, Christine, those 3 are not allowed to have any more candy in that jar. They're done. Yes. No, do not bring it in for them 3. Okay, roll call, please.
Goldstein,
Yes.
Veronica, Norelli, Bono, Cunningham, Stokes,
Aye.
Stepanski,
Yes.
Becker,
Aye.
Kavanaugh, Roberts,
Aye.
Maglioka, Corbin, Zupan, Moses.
Yes.
Jones,
Aye.
Walrod, Schwartz.
Yes.
1,411 ayes.
Carried.
Okay, next we have Health and Human Services Committee resolutions. Resolution 20, authorizing an agreement with Madison County Council on Alcoholism and Substance Abuse Bridges. Number 21, authorizing an agreement with Onondaga, Cortland, Madison, BOCES. 22, authorizing an agreement with Consumer Services of Madison County. 23, authorizing an agreement with Heritage Farm. 24, authorizing an agreement with Liberty Resources for Oasis. 25, authorizing contract modifications and budget modifications for 2021 budgets for mental health. 26, authorizing the modification of the 21 budget for preschool special ed. 27, authorizing an agreement with Elmcrest Children's Center. 28, authorizing to extend an agreement with Liberty Resources Family Services. 29, authorizing an agreement with Liberty Resources for victims of domestic violence. 30, authorizing an agreement with Liberty Resources for temporary assistance to needy families for January through June. 31, authorizing an agreement with Liberty Resources for temporary assistance to needy families for January through December. 32, authorizing the modification of the 21 budget for temporary assistance needy families. And 33, authorizing agreement with New York State Office of Children and Family Services for the 21 youth program funds for disbursement by the Madison County Youth Bureau. Alex Stepanski, Chairman, Health and Human Services Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move the adoption of these resolutions.
Resolutions are made, seconded by Mr. Maglioka. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Dee Veronica, Norelli, Bono, Cunningham, Stokes,
Aye.
Stepanski,
Yes.
Becker,
Aye.
Kavanaugh, Roberts,
Aye.
Maglioka, Corbin,
Yes.
Zupian,
Yes.
Moses.
Yes.
Jones, Walrod, Schwartz,
Yes.
Goldstein,
Yes.
1,411 ayes.
Carried.
Next, we have our planning committee. 34, extending the contract with Casanova Preservation Foundation. 35, extending the contract with Madison County Tourism. And 36, acknowledging the introduction of proposed local law number 4 for the year 2021, that should read. And calling for a public hearing to opt out of late season holiday hunting. Cliff Moses, Chairman, Planning Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move these resolutions for
Resolution
adoption.
made, seconded by Mr. Walrod. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Norelli, Bono, Cunningham, Stokes,
Aye.
Stefanski,
Yes.
Becker.
Aye.
Kavanaugh, Roberts.
Aye.
Maglioka. Corbin. Zupan. Moses.
Yes.
Jones. Walrod. Schwartz.
Yes.
Goldstein.
Yes.
Veronica. 1,411 ayes.
Carried.
Next, we have Criminal Justice Public Safety Committee. Resolution 37, authorizing an agreement with J. Scott Porter for appellate case services. 38, authorizing grant funds, New York State Stop DWI Foundation and modifying the 21 budget. 39, authorizing acceptance of grant award, New York State Office of Children and Family Services for Children Advocacy Center and modifying the 21 budget. Number 40, authorizing an agreement with Casanova Central School District for the use of special patrol officers. 41, authorizing an agreement with Dr. Kirby Black for medical director services. 42, authorizing EMS participation agreements, first response and municipal agencies. 43, authorizing a memorandum of understanding for emergency first responders training for the year 2022. 44, appointing a member to Madison County Traffic Safety Board. 45, authorizing participation in a state grant and modifying the 21 budget for a public defender. And 46, authorizing the modification of the 21 budget for public defender year 2 grant. Pete Walrod, Chairman, Criminal Justice Public Safety.
Hold on one second. Dave, do you want to advise him before he says anything?
Well, I don't know. It's the candy wrappers. I don't eat them, but the smell is kind of like.
Okay, Mr. Walrod.
Mr. Chairman, I move these resolutions for adoption.
Resolution's been made. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Corbin. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Bono, Cunningham, Stokes,
Aye.
Bansky,
Yes.
Becker.
Aye.
Kavanaugh, Roberts,
Aye.
Maglioka, Corbin.
Yes.
Zupan.
Yes.
Moses.
Yes.
Jones, Walrod, Schwartz,
Yes.
Goldstein,
Yes.
Veronica, Norelli. 1,411 ayes.
Carried.
Next, we have Highway Buildings and Grounds Committee. Resolution 47, authorizing the modification of the 21 budget contingent fund road machinery. Number 48, authorizing an agreement with Weatherproofing Technologies. 49, authorizing an agreement with Wendell Architect. And it is Ron Bono, Chairman, Highway Buildings and Grounds.
Resolutions are made, seconded by Mr. Di Veronica. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Cunningham, Stokes,
Aye.
Stepanski.
Yes.
Becker.
Aye.
Kavanaugh. Roberts.
Aye.
Maglio. Corbin.
Yes.
Zupan. Moses.
Yes.
Jones. Walrod. Schwartz.
Yes.
Goldstein.
Yes.
Veronica. Norelli. Bono. 1,411 ayes.
Carried.
Solid Waste and Recycling Committee. Resolution number 50, establishing a fee for the 22 solid waste punch cards for residential solid waste disposal.
We're gonna pull that one out.
That's
That one's
right.
getting pulled. Yep.
Okay, put that one toward the end. We're gonna do that later, separately. Number 51, authorizing extension agreement, Casella Recycling for the sale of recycled paper from the ARC facility. Number 52, authorizing agreement with Miller Environmental Group to receive, process, and recycle, dispose of household hazardous waste. And 53, entering new standard solid waste disposal agreements for 21-22. Jim Goldstein, Chairman, Solid Waste Recycling Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move these resolutions for adoption.
Resolution's been made. Second by Mr. Stefanski. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Stokes.
Aye.
Stefanski.
Yes.
Becker.
Aye.
Kavanaugh. Roberts. Maglioka. Corbin. Zupan. Moses.
Yes.
Jones. Walrod. Schwartz.
Yes.
Goldstein.
Yes.
DeVeronica. Norelli. Bono. Cunningham. 1,411 ayes.
Carried.
Now we go to regular resolutions. Resolution number 54. Supporting Operation Greenlight for active military service members and transition to civilian life. Alex Stefanski, Chairman, Health and Human Services Committee.
Chairman, I move the adoption of this resolution.
Resolutions are made. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Moses. Is there any discussion? Ron, you want to speak to this? Ron Raymer is the head of our Veterans Department downstairs, and him and his team do an excellent job always, and they've done an excellent job on this program. So go ahead, Ron.
Chairman.
Thank you.
Good afternoon and thank you. Operation Greenlight is a partnership with the New York Association of Counties, NYSAC, and New York County Veteran Service Officer Association. The goal of this initiative is to spotlight the transition known as ETS, or otherwise expiration of term of service, the term used for transitioning out of the military to civilian life. During this time, ETS often leads to anxiety of the unknown and becomes a significant risk to veteran suicide. Studies indicate that anywhere from 44% to 72% of service members experience high levels of stress during transition from military to civilian life. Sadly, active military service members transitioning from military service are at a high risk for suicide during their first year after military service, and we want to shed light on veterans and become a beacon to illuminate New York State. Over the last 20 years, New York State has accumulated the third largest decline of 44% in veteran population throughout the United States. Active duty military members transitioning from service are choosing other states to reside. Approximately 200,000 service members transition to civilian communities annually, and the Department of Defense projects a 20% increase in military personnel leaving the service in the next 12 months. What is Operation Greenlight? America's veterans are some of our nation's hardest working men and women. However, it is hard to show them the appreciation they deserve when, back home and out of uniform, they are more camouflaged than ever. Operation Greenlight is a campaign to establish visible statewide support for our veterans by changing one light to green. To show support, you can shine in any or glow in all of the following. On an individual level, put a green light in a window or on a porch to show support. Not just honor a veteran on November 11th, but send a signal all year changing one light to green, the color of hope, renewal, and well-being. If you are a veteran, you can offer peer mentorship to a transitioning veteran as part of the Service Member ETS Sponsorship Program. Local businesses can commit to hiring active duty personnel prior to their enlistment end. They can also light up their store visible to all in green. Educational institutions can help promote military cultural awareness by hosting Department of Veteran Affairs military cultural awareness training. Additionally, Operation Greenlight is an initiative to help promote the ETS sponsorship program designed to pair recently separated active duty military service members with a veteran sponsor in their destination community. The ETS sponsorship program is an evidence-based model backed by a secure leading edge set of digital dashboards. Service members are paired with sponsors just as they are when they move from post to post on active duty. Sponsors come from the future community, matching once again, along with proactive outreach on the condition side. I'd like to take this moment to thank Mansfield and her staff, the IO office, for all their help in promoting operations. I'd also like to thank cause. And finally, I would like to thank members of the Madison County Board of Supervisors for the introduction and share with you all today. Meaning behind Operation Greenlight, for their continued recognition of this great initiative for the better community. Now, please give me your attention to the, we will share with you some of the upcoming events regarding veteran recognition taking place. November 11 a.m. the Madison County War Veteran Memorial ceremony will be open to the public. And will be held at the War Veteran Memorial located next to the Madison County War Veteran. In the event of inclement weather, the ceremony will be held in the atrium directly outside the DMV. This year, the guest speaker will be retired Marine Corps veteran, Master Sergeant Michael.
Thank you. Hey, any discussion?
John, I got one announcement. too.
Yes, sir.
On the 11th, about 11 o'clock, I'm dedicating the World War I monument to the soldiers that served at that time, which is known and we're alive again, but that's my last monument I'm gonna put up with my tenure. So we put up World War II, Vietnam, Korea, and also now we're going to World War II. Put all
World
the
War I.
names on it.
What time?
Or World War I. I think it's gonna be around 10 o'clock. Canastota VFW put it on.
Okay, very good.
I'm gonna put it on the website anyway.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, all in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, carried.
Resolution number 55. Authorizing a broadband project in and for the County of Madison, New York at a maximum estimated cost of $16,013,254 and authorizing the issuance of $3,385,387 bonds to pay part of the cost thereof. Yvonne Morelli, Chairwoman, Finance, Ways and Means.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption, please.
Resolution is made, seconded by Mr. Di Veronica. Is there any discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
just quickly, I'd like to thank everyone who's involved, especially the Evans Committee, McPlus, their hard work in getting this through, and Mark's and your efforts with the right people to get this very worthwhile program in place.
Roll call, please.
Becker,
Aye.
Kavanaugh, Roberts,
Aye.
Maglioka, Corbin, Zupan, Moses.
Yes.
Jones, Walrod, Schwartz,
Yes.
Goldstein,
Yes.
Di Veronica,
A big yes.
Norelli,
Aye.
Bono, Cunningham, Stokes,
Aye.
and Stefanski.
Yes.
1,411 ayes.
Okay,
Now, the last resolution, it was
Yes.
number 50 that was pulled out of earlier agenda packet. Establishing a fee for 2022 solid waste punch cards for residential solid waste disposal in Madison County. Jim Goldstein, Chairman, Solid Waste Recycling Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I move this resolution for adoption.
resolution's made. Do I have a second?
Yes.
Second by Mr. Stokes. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Corbin.
for the reasons I stated in the committee of the whole, I would like to amend this resolution for an increase to $18 instead of 20 per punch card.
Okay, we have a amendment to the resolution. Do I have a second by Mr. Zupan? Is there any discussion on the amendment?
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Moses.
When it's $20, it's the authorizing the vendor to retain 75. They currently retain 45 or 40. 40 currently. So would you still entertain going that to 75 or? Just for
Since
clarification.
there's been no increase in that in several years, that was the statement that was made. I would say stay at the 75 cents.
Okay. Is there any other discussion?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, people
Yes.
need to understand that this is the cost of just barely, not even breaking even for these transfer stations, and that these increases are necessary to make sure that we don't ever get into the position to have to ask the taxpayers to subsidize the landfill. So I don't think people are being realistic by lowering it, because the reality is that the people who use the transfer stations were at a loss anyway. And this just makes it a closer margin. And it probably, most people will find that if they use private haulers, they'll save more money than they will buying punch cards. But if they want to buy punch cards, we got to make sure that the garbage pays for garbage. So I'm against this.
Okay. All right. Any other discussion? Mrs. Norelli?
Well, the other idea is if we're lowering it to 18 and we're going to raise the per card rate, we have to really take a look at 16, then 75 cents, so it's 16.75. So, and as Chairman Goldstein of the Solid Waste talked about, in doing this analysis, if you have garbage collection, then that is working out to be less expensive than the punch cards. But those people who use the transfer stations and the punch cards, this is more of fulfilling a convenience for those who use the landfill as such. So we have to consider that too. So I urge that we leave it the way it is at $20. We have vetted this particular issue for the last several months.
Okay, I have the amendment on the floor with a second. Is there any other discussion? All in favor of the amendment signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
No.
No.
Okay, the amendment is defeated. Okay. And the resolution as presented, any discussion? All in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Opposed.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, next we have Denise Lobb from United Way. Going to come up and give us a little presentation.
Hey, Sam. Make sure that mic is on.
Welcome, Denise. Bobby, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Is it low?
All right,
Oh, that's okay, not a problem.
I apologize.
Not a problem. So thank you for a few minutes of your time today. I'm here to talk just briefly about the United Way of Madison County. In the past, about 18 months, we have transitioned from the United Way of Greater Oneida into a county organization. Because I don't do social media, this is my way of doing social media. Showing up to audiences and trying to spread the word. So I ask you who live in different communities in Madison County to take this information back to your communities so that we can get the county better informed about what the United Way is doing. One of the things in our brochure that I wanted to point out is that 39% of the households live at or below. So those people, 39% of households, have a difficult time meeting basic needs. And that's a pretty large percentage of the households. We are starting to use these statistics to help focus where our money is going to go. In addition to also and that model focuses on putting resources to help education and financial programs that are going to help education. Are the foundation of we still have more Trying to get out further in the county with both our fundraising efforts and outreach. Again, I asked you to share this information with the community. There's going to be some more changes in this head. Lots of new ideas. Someone who does look at that, because that's definitely not something I've been able to do. It's not my strength. So I'm going to move on into grandmahood, and I just asked the county to continue to recognize United Way, to get the word out, encourage people in communities. And that's it. Does anyone
I have a question. Does 100% of the donations go directly to Madison County? Is there any administrative fees or anything like that? How does that work?
out of our whole budget goes outside of that?
Okay, thank you.
Hey, thank you very much, Denise, and we wish you well on your next endeavor. Yes, thank you. Okay, I'm going to need a motion, no motion to recess. We're going to recess, yeah. Yes, the clerk has just informed me that she wants your town budgets, so let's get them into her. So I have to be the bad guy. So as soon as they're passed, let's get them into Cindy. We are going to recess, but yet we're asking you to stay because we have employee recognition and we have a total of 850 years of experience that we're going to recognize today. So, yes. You should get up and talk, Rocky. Okay, we have everybody in here, I guess. All right, today, we're gonna do our 2021 employee recognition summary. Recognizing 46 long-term employees for their continuous service, starting with 10 years of service and in 5-year increments from there. We have 1 employee with 35 years, 3 with 30, 6 with 25, 15 with 20, 13 with 15, 8 with 10. They represent a total of 850 years of experience. Yep, thank you very much. And thank yous, special thank yous go out to Julie Chesbro for putting on the entire program at Personnel and along with Eileen. Christine Coe for ordering all the gifts. Thank you, Christine. And to Betty Jo Johnson and Karen Bright of CSCA for providing the refreshments in the large conference room immediately following. And please stop by when we complete the program. So with that, Eileen, we'll turn it over to you.
I'm just going to call the names. Okay, starting with 10 years of service, Jeff Amel. Come on up. When we call your name.
Before that, these 3 gotta behave. They gotta stop.
Come on, guys.
It's in the other room. I'm really disappointed. You want to speak? You want to talk? You sure? There's not enough time.
Next, Veronica Bailey from Social Services. Apparently she's not here. And I'm just going to add, not all 46 people are coming today. We're expecting, we think 26 people are here. Kevin Fiola from the Sheriff's Office. Next, Karen Holbert from Social Services. And again, from Social Services, Stephanie Waite. Stephanie must have decided not to come. Moving on to 15 years of service, Eric Weiss, Public Health Department.
Congratulations. And I know you do more than mosquitoes, let me tell you.
Next, Bill Guston from Information Technology.
Here?
These people all said they were coming. Next, Faith Hyde from Public Health. Also from Public Health, Jennifer McGowan. Terry Rallier from Social Services. I'm doing where they're from memory and I'm going to lose it. And for the last, but not least from that, for 15 years is Christy Smith from County Clerk's Office.
You gotta give us directions.
You're the boss.
Yeah.
This is not your first one. Good job. Yay.
All right, moving on to 20 years of service. We have Taya Beebe from Social Services. It's a keychain.
Oh, keychain, okay, very good.
Next, Cindy Edick, County Treasurer.
There you go. You mind the Pope? Yeah.
Next is Barney Freeborn from Highway. Jessica Prevo from Social Services. Sandra Chantel, Social Services. Oops. Gwen Williamson from Planning. Lori Minor Hall. I'm sorry, Social Services. Carolyn Wilch, also from Social Services. Now we're moving on to 25 years of service. We have Sandy Jordan from County Clerk's Office.
I'm glad we have Eileen presenting because if Mr. Keble was up here, you'd have to bring a sleeping bag. We'd be in trouble.
And also for 25 years, Patricia Platt from Social Services. Moving on to 30 years of service, social services, Michael Fitzgerald.
Ryan said I had to run up. Is that, no, thank you.
It's a Rolex. And also from social services, 30 years of service, Darius Kaczynski. "35 years of service. Big winner today is June Smith from Social Services. Thank you, everybody, for coming. This is great. All these, everybody showing up, working this many years. It's wonderful to see, and the support of the board members for being here as well. Thank you for hanging around and showing your support. But let's all go next door and have refreshments supplied by CSEA.
Have a drink. Have a drink of water.